I love my Discord. Okay, we got a Hard Lens Media Discord, and I was in a recent meeting, sit down with some of my colleagues, and shout out to my friend Daniel and everybody else who's part of the Hard Lens Media Network. So we were, we're doing some work, and then after we got done, I decided to check out the Discord, and what do I find? Surprise, surprise! On Sunday evening, that George Clooney. Apparently, nothing's confirmed because I'm going to pull up an article, right? That is saying that it's not true, but I don't know. It's been hitting the rounds on the internet that George Clooney said his foundation was seeking to arrest media professionals or either that oust Russian propagandists. Woogie boogie boogie. That's right, everybody. Hide. It's the Russians. The Russians are coming to get you. Hide your wives. Hide your kids, hide your car, hide your dog, because they're taking everybody, man. That's what's happening. So here's what's going on here, okay? So let's get a bigger perspective. Clooney denies his fund is targeting Russian journalists. I know. Hollywood star George Clooney, everybody loves Hollywood, right? Hey, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. How do you feel about Hollywood? Type 1 for Kit. Hollywood is a wonderful, magical place where you've got people who make movies, and it's fun. And sometimes they even fight for serious causes. Not once, not ever is Hollywood a propagandist cesspool. How dare you? How simply dare you? Type 2, man. No, man, F Hollywood. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it. Burn all down. Burn all down. Burn all down and burn all down. Hey, how many 2s will we get in the chat? And people say I rig my elections. How dare you make that accusation? What evidence do you have? So, the actor was responding after remarks last week made by Anna Nesset, a legal director of The Docket, one of the projects sponsored by Clooney's Foundation for Justice. The CFJ, Clooney Foundation for Justice. Nesset claimed her team is working to secure arrest warrants for Russian media professionals for alleged incitement to genocide in Gaza. Oh my goodness gracious Cretaceous. Someone in our foundation misspoke. Are you sure? Were they not following orders? Anyways, read a short message on Monday issued on the foundation's social media and attributed to Clooney. We at the Clooney Foundation would never go after journalists, even if we disagree with them. Oh, it's a good thing there's never been a track record. It's a good thing. Not saying the Clooney Foundation, but in America, never once has there been a foundation or institution or politicians or a political party ever, not once ever, going after journalists or whistleblowers. Never, ever, forever, never. There's never any proof. Come on. The actor added after noting that his father, Nick, works in the media. We have a long track record of protecting journalists. Okay. So according to its chief lawyer, the docket perceives its approach as a more practical, seeking indictments through the International Criminal Court, the ICC, you know them, you love them, which typically handles cases of alleged genocide against individuals. Nesset claimed her team is seeking a nation willing to prosecute Russians based on propaganda of aggressive war. Thus far, there's been no such precedent of successful prosecutions, Nesset noted, although several European nations, including Poland, Slovakia, and Moldavia, have the relevant laws in place. Okay. At the very least, the docket could make travel more difficult for targeted individuals, Nesset argued. The group intends to ask a nation that would have the political will to issue arrest warrants secretly so that Russian journalists would travel to other nations and be arrested there. What? Somebody misspoke. What? This says remarks which gave in an interview with the Russian language version of the U.S. government-funded media outlet Voice of America were hailed by senior Ukrainian officials. Andrei Yermak, a chief of staff to Vladimir Zelensky, called the comments very important and said they were aligned with Kiev's aims to sanction Russian propagandists. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has called the docket's legal team madmen for targeting journalists. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman has said the foundation effectively confessed to hounding media professionals with an ethically motivated criminal prosecution campaign. Goodness gracious. Clooney, say it ain't so, man. Come on. Hey, folks. Does this look like a face that would lie to you? After all, the profession of the actor is to be a pretender, right? You pretend to be somebody else there, lovely. So this is from the Daily Beast, I know. From dusk till dawn. George Clooney, the head of the Russian Security Council, tweeted a thinly veiled threat aimed at the actor on Saturday. This is almost like a movie, a lame movie script in the making. One brave actor who's in charge of foundation faces off against a global superpower. Find out if he'll stand a day. Clooney versus Russia in theaters this June. Russia says that mediocre. Oh, come on. Separate the art from the artist, okay? Because, hey, listen, I might disagree with Clooney, but hey, some movies he's been in have been pretty good, okay? I could separate the art from the artist. That's what I can do. Do I have to disagree with? Do I have to agree with the artist on everything? No, but separate. Come on, Russia, you're being mean here. Russia says that mediocre actor George Clooney should watch his back. So the country's security head honcho, Dmitry Medvedev, took issue with Clooney's Foundation for Justice on Saturday, tweeting that the movie star wants to use his foundation to hunt down Russian journalists all over the world and persecute them. But according to, again, to the head security honcho there, that guy, Clooney, won't be able to do so because Russian journalists will find him first. This was not on my bingo card. Was this on your bingo card? Clooney versus Russia. He goes on to say, this is what he tweeted out, a certain mediocre actor called George Clooney. Hold on, I got to pause here. Pause. I'm taking that from Abba and Preach. Hold on. I'm stealing that from Abba and Preach. Sorry, guys. Pause. I never thought we'd see the day where like actors are like literally being dragged through the mud. Because I remember as a kid growing up, especially in the 90s, before the internet. This was a time before the 90s, or this is a time in the 90s. So Gen Z, you may not know of this innocent era. But there was a time like where actors were like deemed, actors and actors were deemed like untouchable. Like they were wise. The whole media system presented them in a way that made them look like on point and together, and like we could look to them for guidance. But Anthony Hopkins, man, he's the one who said it best, man. Don't ask my opinion on anything. Actors are idiots. I just love seeing that, the way Hollywood is just being like knocked down, and regular people, everybody is just like, man, F off Hollywood. I'm ever hopeful for the great implosion of Hollywood, but anyways, that's just me speaking. There are far more articulate content creators that explain why Hollywood needs its downfall, and I'm not going to steal anything from them because they have broke it down perfectly. My reasoning, I want to see Hollywood because it's just not creative anymore. Okay, just burnt down. Like just let it implode. Let it implode. But let's get back on point. The Clooney Foundation, which the actor founded with his wife, human rights lawyer Amal Clooney, has drawn heat from Russian officials who say the foundation is on a holy crusade, I put that in there, to arrest Russian journalists. Russian news agency TASS reported that the foundation is encouraging European Union countries to penalize Russian journalists who report positive coverage of Russia's attack on Ukraine as promoting war propaganda. A Kremlin spokesperson called the initiative insane. Medvedev took a step further, tweeting an anonymous threat aimed at the actor. Obviously, I read it all, calling him a certain mediocre actor, saying that the Russian journalists are gonna find him first. All right. The last line of his tweet could be interpreted as portraying Medvedev as a fan of Clooney, unless he's just has Clooney's film references at the ready whenever he needs one. Russian journalists are going to have a chat with Clooney, he tweeted, from dusk till dawn. From dusk till dawn. All right, so there you go. So George Clooney, man, you got to get your organization together, baby. So what can we take away from this? First of all, this is humorous. It's pretty funny. But on the other side too, let's be serious, okay? let's just say for right now that person did misspoke, okay? And they probably did, and Clooney is just pissed off, right? Let's be very clear here on this whole situation. Here in the United States, there's been a long track record of journalists and whistleblowers and investigative journalists who have been arrested, who have been blacklisted, who have been targeted. Okay, we all know. We all know. We have seen so many examples of those who speak truth to power being arrested, being detained. You know, all of it, everything coming crashing down. It's unfortunate that we're in this world, but when I look at stuff like that, I'm thinking, geez, whatever happened to freedom of speech? Whatever happened to truth to power? You know, so many people are so easily triggered. And this is the problem with this ridiculous war that we see in Ukraine and Israel and all over the world. You know, you can't be critical of war. I mean, when we saw what happened to all the journalists and reporters and commentators who were critical of the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq way back from 2001 to 2003. And since then, people have to step on eggshells. You can't be critical of war. You can't be doing this or that or the other. Meanwhile, we're on the precipice of World War III. So, all right, Clooney, what is the whole purpose of the organization? Are you just going after these journalists? Why go after these journalists? Why would you do this? Why would somebody of your organization even be so bold to make a statement like that, even if they did misspoke? There was probably a better way to say it, not saying that you should be saying stuff like this, period, or even be in favor of it. But we'll see. Who do you think will win? Lone actor George Clooney or the entire Russian government? Type in the comment section below. This has the makings of such a ridiculous B-movie plot, but who knows? It might do well, or not at all, because after all, I'm still eating it up from Memorial Day weekend Hollywood turnout. Lowest turnout it's ever been. Most dismal Hollywood turnout in theaters in 40 years. It was beautiful to see. All right. So anytime I see Hollywood take an L, I love it. Does that make me petty? Oh, absolutely, it does. Not going to sugarcoat this one.